Ambassador Chen stood before the Galactic Council's towering obsidian doors, her reflection distorted in their polished surface. Behind her, the delegation from Earth waited in silence. They had traveled 3 months through fold space to reach this moment, humanity's first petition to join the ancient assembly that governed 2,000 worlds. The doors parted with a sound like distant thunder. The chamber beyond defied human architecture. Gravity seemed optional here, with council members occupying impossible angles throughout the spherical space. The Vrelny floated in clouds of luminescent gas. The Korth delegation clung to what might have been a ceiling. At the chamber's center, High Arbiter Zeltoth of the Takani Empire gestured with 3 of his 7 arms. "The human petition is acknowledged," Zeltoth's voice translated through the neural link. "You may present your case." Chen stepped forward, her boots somehow finding purchase on the shifting floor. She had rehearsed this speech 1,000 times during the journey. Humanity's achievements, their technological progress, their desire for peaceful cooperation among the stars. She never got to finish. Denied. Zeltoth's interruption cut through her words like a blade through silk. Around the chamber, various appendages, tentacles, and energy matrices signaled agreement. Earth's application for council membership is rejected. You may reapply in 500 standard years. Chen felt her jaw tighten. May I ask the reason for this decision? You are primitives, said Councillor Vree of the Harmonious Collective, her crystalline body chiming with each word. Your species has barely left your birth system. You fight wars over resources. You lack the emotional maturity for galactic governance. Furthermore, added a Korth representative, your biology is unsuitable. You require specific atmospheric conditions, specific temperatures. You are fragile. The Council cannot accommodate such limitations. Ambassador Chen looked back at her team. Colonel Martinez met her eyes and gave the smallest nod. Dr. Okonkwo's fingers danced across her datapad. Young Lieutenant Park's hand hovered near the diplomatic case they'd brought as a backup. Chen turned back to the Council with a smile that would have alarmed anyone who knew her well. I understand, she said simply. Thank you for your time. The delegation left without another word. That was 18 months ago. High Arbiter Zeltoth now stared at the reports flooding across his desk with what humans would have called disbelief. He summoned an emergency session of the Council. The humans, he began without preamble, have established settlements on 47 worlds. 47 in less than 2 standard cycles. Impossible, Councillor Vree chimed. Those worlds are hostile. Toxic atmospheres, extreme temperatures. Even we deemed them unsuitable for colonization. Nevertheless, Zeltoth projected the data into the chamber's center. Colony after colony, each on a world the Council had classified as uninhabitable. Frozen methane wastelands, sulfur-choked hellscapes, radiation-soaked rocks orbiting dying stars. The humans had terraformed nothing. They had simply moved in. They wear suits, reported the intelligence officer, a Vrelny named Kess. Enclosed habitats. They live in environments that would kill most of us within seconds, and they thrive there. They call it adaptation. More reports followed over the coming months. Human mining operations extracting resources from asteroid belts the Council had deemed too dangerous to approach. Human agricultural stations in the crushing gravity of super-Earth worlds. Human research outposts in the radiation fields near neutron stars, studying phenomena that Council scientists observed only through remote probes. Then came the incident with the Korth sovereignty. The Korth had been expanding aggressively, claiming systems on the galactic rim. When they encountered human colonies on 3 contested worlds, they issued the standard ultimatum: evacuate or be destroyed. The humans responded with a single word: no. The Korth sent their fleet, 200 warships, veterans of a dozen successful campaigns. The Council watched through long-range sensors, expecting to witness humanity's humbling. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the Korth fleet was in full retreat, having lost 1/3 of their ships to an enemy they had outnumbered 5-1. Human vessels, smaller, faster, apparently held together with improvisation and sheer bloody-mindedness, had fought with a ferocity that shocked the galaxy. They don't have our shields, the Korth admiral reported to the Council, his compound eyes still wide with trauma. They don't have our weapons, but they have no concept of acceptable losses. They rammed our dreadnoughts with their corvettes. They set traps in debris fields and attacked from within our own formations. They fought like they were already dead, and just wanted to take us with them. High Arbiter Zeltoth called another emergency session. This time, Ambassador Chen was invited to address the council. She stood in the same spot where she had been rejected, but the atmosphere had changed. The casual dismissal was gone, replaced by something else. Caution. Perhaps even fear. Ambassador Chen, Zeltoth began carefully, the council wishes to revisit your application for membership. We believe there may have been a misunderstanding regarding humanity's qualifications. Chen's expression remained neutral. That's very kind. However, we're no longer interested in a seat on your council. The chamber erupted in confused chatter across a dozen forms of communication. You misunderstand, Zeltoth pressed. We are prepared to offer full membership. Immediate voting rights, access to all council resources and protected trade routes. I understood perfectly, High Arbiter. Chen's smile returned, sharp as broken glass. We don't want a seat at your table. We've been building our own table, and we've already filled most of the chairs. She activated a holographic display. 23 species appeared, most of them refugees or outcasts that the council had rejected or abandoned. The stubborn Deltans who refused to abandon their failing homeworld. The Srick deemed too aggressive. The AI hybrid Nexus considered an abomination. All of them now flying under humanity's banner. All of them settling those uninhabitable worlds alongside human colonies. We call it the Frontier Alliance, Chen continued. No species too primitive, no biology too inconvenient, no world too hostile. We're building our own council, High Arbiter. One with a simple rule. If you're willing to work hard and treat others with respect, you're welcome. She turned to leave, then paused. Oh, and we've been meaning to discuss those protected trade routes you mentioned. Several of them pass through systems we now control. We'll be implementing a modest toll. I'm sure you understand. Resources are tight when you're building a new civilization from scratch. Ambassador Chen walked out of the council chamber for the second time. Behind her, the oldest governing body in the galaxy sat in stunned silence. High Arbiter Zeltoth looked around at his fellow counselors, seeing his own thoughts reflected in their alien features. The humans hadn't taken a seat at the table. They had built a bigger one, and they were just getting started.